So this is part two, the journey. Back in 2012, I was a member at a local gym back in Vegas, and they came out with their own like monthly subscription magazine or something like that for their members. And so I just remember just grabbing it off the shelf while I was stretching, just kind of cooling down after the workout. And the title said, "Run your first 5K." So I was like, cool, okay, let me just go ahead and read through this. And, it's just like everything, it kind of had it laid out about, how to get started with running, doing your first 5K. And they actually had like this 8 to 12 week plan or something like that, which made it even better because now I didn't even have to think about putting together a training plan. They just had a generic one in there for me. And so I was like, cool, let's do this. And so I ended up contacting a couple friends or so, asked them would they join me for 5K. Everybody was excited. Yeah, let's do it. And then, as it was time to register for the race, nobody signed up. So myself included, I didn't sign up for the race that spring. But later on that fall, I ended up signing up for this night light run or something like that in downtown Las Vegas. Most people are out there to have fun because you have like the costumes and lights and things like that. And for me, just kind of being a competitor and know that I started training for this run, I wasn't really there to have fun. I was really there to kind of test myself and see where I was in terms of being able to do a 5K. So as people cheered and kind of hung out, I kind of hit the streets with the idea of like, yo, how fast can I do this? Where am I at? Actually, can I even complete this? Because it was something totally new to me. And so I did. I went out, made it happen. It was a good experience. Unfortunately, there was no bling afterwards, so there was no medal. So I didn't get tainted just yet about the race swag. But I like the feeling of competing and kind of running that race that night. And so probably a month after that, I went and supported a friend who was running a half marathon. And I just saw all the thousands of people like lining the Las Vegas Strip and downtown, running through the neighborhoods, and just watching like as a spectator, supporting people who ran past you. They were strangers, some probably friends and things like that. And just like the energy that was around was just like epic. And I was just like, yeah, I want to be a part of this. So that night, I got home and I registered for my first half marathon. And the crazy part about it, I had only did one 5K, like official race. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going straight after the half marathon. And again, that was November, and then the first half marathon was Super Bowl weekend of 2013. And I just always remember that because that was when my Niners played the Ravens, and I ended up watching the game at a Dave and Buster's, and how that went. But it was, I didn't have a lot of time to kind of like think about what was going to happen, the training schedule, and so I went after it. And with some race organizations, they put out these challenges. And so there was one called the Beach Cities Challenge, which was 3 races. The first one was in February in Huntington Beach. The second one was in Orange County. And then the last one was that following October in Long Beach. And what happens is, as part of this series, if you complete all 3 races consecutively, they gave you an additional medal at the end of the series. And so the cool thing about doing the series is that I had races scheduled, and so I always had something I was working towards, which was nice. And also within that time frame, when I was looking to run those 3 races, I ended up doing the San Diego half marathon that March. So I had 4 races in about an 8-month span that I was looking to train for. And so, not really thinking much about it, just went after it. And so that's what all began. It began with night run in Las Vegas, and then just kind of watching the other people do the rock and roll Las Vegas Marathon in November, and it took off for me. And since that night, it went from running that one race that I probably already competed in at least well over 50 races easily, from distances from 5K to 10K, half marathon, marathon, being part of a team relay that was 100K, which is 62 miles for my Americans. And so it's just been kind of this epic journey to get to this point. And so it's just something that I wanted to kind of stick with. And I told myself that when it's all said and done, I want to run at least 100 races. And it doesn't matter what the distance is, 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon, ultra marathon is probably the next one. So that's anything longer than a marathon. And also it led me last year to, with one of my colleagues, Ben, we ran the Canal du Midi, which is a UNICEF historical site, and we did it through France, where we ran about 270, 280 kilometers in a 6-day span. So what it came down to, we ran the equivalence of a marathon a day for 6 days in a row. So it all started with a 5K, and next thing I know, I'm running through countries, running from city to city, to just to see how far we can go. And so yeah, I want to continue to ride this wave. It's one of those things that running, it takes us everywhere. Our feet takes us everywhere. It's our first form of play. And then our ancestors, that's how they got from place to place. And so it's just kind of the most natural form of play, natural exercise. And so that's how it all got started. And for those people who are out there kind of looking about what, how to get started and what to do, this is a perfect time to start. Every day is a perfect time to start. I always say the hardest part is to start. The easiest part is to quit. And so the first thing you want to do is actually just kind of find out, what's your purpose, why you want to do this. So you got to find some form of a purpose of why you want to do, whether it's running, cycling, swimming, bouldering, whatever it may be. You got to find some form of a purpose in it. And then the second thing I kind of recommend doing is kind of finding a group or a person that can be an accountability for you, to kind of help keep you on track with your goal, your purpose. And then the next thing to do is just really get out the door and start. It may start with 100 meters run to the end of the block and walk back, or it may start with just a lap around, your neighborhood, whatever the distance is. The whole thing is just start and put one foot in front of the other. And, whatever you do that first day, that next day, try to just go a little bit further than what you did that time. And then you just continuously build from there. I like to say that nobody really likes running, but we do like the benefits of what running gives us. And there's so many different benefits that come with it. So definitely, find that purpose, find that group or that accountability partner, and just get out the door and just make it happen. And so, yeah, all great journeys, has a beginning. So hopefully that you can find your purpose and your journey, in the coming days or so.